Welcome. My name is Buffy Madrigal Adams, and I'm the licensing specialist in the well construction section. The following video tutorial will explain how to transfer a start card fee from one start card to another, as fee-associated start card refunds will no longer be available post June 30th, 2023. Also, how to submit a start card for an abandonment, as there is a new field to describe the abandonment method. And lastly, how to submit a start card for new construction using the 72-hour exception notification. Let's get going. To locate the Start Card e-file application, begin at the Oregon Water Resources homepage. Locate the photo of the drill rig, then find Resources for Well Constructors. This page is one-stop shopping for all well constructor needs. To find the Start Card application, look to the left navigation panel until you locate e-file start cards. I'm going to use the Stage application here, which looks very similar to the actual application. So first, you will log in using your credentials. And this will take you to the main screen, where your choices are File a Start Card, Manage Pending Start Cards, Start Card Reports. Let's briefly cover two of these options available on this screen before we cover filing start cards. First, there's Manage Pending Start Cards, where you can request a transfer or void, refunds only available for start cards prior to July 1, 2023, request a 30-day extension, give notice of work or seal placement, complete special standards request form. For information on how to request a 30-day extension or giving notice of work or seal placement, please watch the driller notification video. For information on how to use this online special standard request function, please view the online special standards request video. Next, let's look at start card reports, view and print start cards. After choosing Start Card Reports from the drop-down menu, choose the type of report you would like to view. Start Cards Pending Well Log, which is the default, Start Cards with Filed Well Log, or Start Cards for All License. Choose Main in the upper right corner to get back to the main screen. Choosing Return will take you back to the last screen you were on. Contact Us will provide you with a staff directory, directory of services, and regional offices and Water Masters directory. Also in the upper right corner is the Help button. Choosing this option will provide you with a list of topics for which you can receive step-by-step guidance. I'm going to use the Help menu to demonstrate how to transfer or void a start card. Please note that while refunds are allowed for start cards submitted before July 1, 2023, they are not allowed for start cards submitted on July 1, 2023 or later. The transfer function is used to transfer a fee from a paid start card to a new start card when there is a fee associated, such as new construction, deepenings, and conversions. The void function allows you to void a non-fee associated start card, such as an alteration or abandonment. I've clicked on transferring a start card fee. As the instructions indicate here at the top of the screen, choose Manage Electronically Submitted Start Cards option. This will give you a list of all start cards that have been filed electronically and do not have a well log filed against them. Clicking on the column headers will sort the list. Also note you cannot transfer a fee from a start card that has expired or for which work has commenced, or an associated well report has been submitted. When a fee transfer is completed, the start card from which the fee was transferred is no longer valid. Let's go through the steps. Number 1, locate the start card you wish to transfer the fee from and click Select. Here's where you can find the Select option. Number 2, the start card information will be displayed, and if it is possible to transfer this start card, a button will appear at the bottom called Transfer, which you can click to initiate a transfer process. If there is no fee associated with the start card, it is an abandonment or alteration, you will only see a void button. Please note it is not possible to transfer the fee on a start card that hasn't cleared the credit card company, so you may need to wait a day or two. Number 3, upon choosing transfer, a new data entry screen appears, prompting you to enter the information for the new start card that you want this fee transferred to. Number 4, after entering the new start card information, click on Complete Transfer. If you decide that you do not want to transfer the fee, choose Cancel. And lastly, number 5, a message will appear alerting you to the status of the transfer, and you will be able to print the start card for your records. To file a start card for a well abandonment, from the main start card screen, I chose File a Start Card. I've entered the owner information, including the landowner's email address. Under Type of Work, I will demonstrate a new field regarding abandonments. First, choose Abandonment, and then choose your abandonment method from the drop-down menu. I am choosing Grout in Place. Under Use of Well, I am choosing Domestic. I am skipping this next section as I will cover water rights when I provide an example for new construction. The construction section is new in the start card application. This is where you can indicate if this is an emergency requiring less than 72 hours notice. I will cover this section when I demonstrate submitting a start card for new construction. I will need to note the proposed commencement date for work, and I am choosing a date at least 72 hours from now to comply with the new requirements. For both abandonments and new construction, I will need to know a proposed seal placement date. And that date can be the same date as the proposed commencement date or a date in the future. Underneath, you will see also a new function. As I indicated, this has its own video tutorial. I am going to purposely not request special standards so I can show you the error message that you get. Under Proposed Well Location, the next field, indicate the street address of the well or the nearest address. If the address is the same as the owner's mailing address, you can click Use Address above to populate this field. Next, I will create the map. You can do this by entering the lat long or the TRSQQ or typing the address in the search field located in the top right corner of the mapping tool. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to enter the address of the Oregon Water Resources Department in Salem. And you will see it brings up the map. And then next, I need to indicate with my mouse the location of the well. So I'm going to choose here. And then you'll see a resulting red X, and that will populate the lat long section here. Next, you will need to choose Calculate TRS, which will populate the TRSQQ section. However, you will need to manually enter the tax lot number. And from there, I am going to add to my cart. I'm going to scroll up to do the submission. And you will note that I received some error messages here. Original well report is required, or a special standard will be required. Also, special standards are required. After submitting the start card, complete the special standards request form under Manage Start Cards. Here is the start card in the non-fee associated cart. If I decided I needed to make additional changes before the submission, I could select this, it will repopulate, and I can go in and make any necessary changes. But I am happy with my start card, and I saw my error messages. So when I'm done submitting this, I will be sure to request a special standard. So from there, I'm going to choose Submit, which takes me to the online start card purchase receipt page. Choosing Control P will allow you to print this page for your records, as I will demonstrate. I'm hitting Control P. And now I get a print dialog box. So I would choose my printer. I'm just going to save it as a PDF, hit save. And I think I'll just save it to my desktop. If you have any questions regarding the various abandonment methods, please contact Tommy Laird, Well Construction Program Coordinator. Next, I will demonstrate how to submit a start card for new construction. I've logged into the application using the testing credentials, and then from the main screen, I chose File a Start Card. I've entered my landowner information, including their email address. Under Type of Work, I'm going to choose New. You need not be concerned about entering an original start card number, well report, or well label number, as those fields are available for use during deepenings, alterations, and abandonments. As you noticed in the abandonment portion of this video, I received an error message because I did not indicate the original well report. All right, so I've indicated my type of work as new. Now for use, I'm going to choose domestic. To note here, you can choose more than one use, but I'm just going to do domestic. The next section is water rights. Now, most water supply wells in Oregon do not have a water right permit. If your landowner indicates that they have a water right permit or valid transfer, you can enter that information here. Start by choosing the file type. I'm going to choose permit, which auto-populates the file character of G. Then I need to enter the file number, and then I will click search. If this is the correct permit here, choose select, which will populate the water right field here. If you are unable to locate the water right or valid transfer, you can click on Water Rights Information System here, which will allow you to perform a search using these tabs. I'm going to close out of there. If you still cannot find the information you're looking for, you can contact Travis Kelly, Well Construction Compliance Coordinator. His information is here. I'm going to go ahead and clear this out because this is not going to have a water right with it. All right, let's go talk about that construction section again. This is the new area of the start card. I'm going to go ahead and put in my depth here and the diameter here. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to note that this start card requires an exception to the 72-hour notice by clicking the checkbox next to yes. Now I need to note the proposed commencement date. And remember, I said this is requires less than 72 hours notice. So I don't need to make sure it's at least 3 days in advance. Now I need to indicate what is the reason that I want to start work in less than 72 hours. So I'm going to choose from the drop down. I'm going to pick a second or additional water well drilled on the same or a contiguous tax lot for the same landowner. My other options there was a water emergency or a casing height adjustment. I will need to include a description. So I'm going to say that there were water quality issues with initial hole. And then I also need to indicate the proposed seal placement date, which can be the same date as the proposed commencement date or a day beyond that. I also wanted to note that if you chose casing height extension from this dropdown, you are still required to include a description here. You can just reiterate casing height extension. I know it's redundant, but the system needs some text in this text box in order to push the start card through. Now remember, if you do not place the seal on the date indicated, you will be required to submit a seal placement notification at least 4 hours in advance of placing the seal. Also, you will be required to submit a new day of drilling notification for this second well because notifications are tied to a start card number, not the property or tax lot. If I needed a special standard for this project, I would go ahead and choose special standard from the drop down. And as I noted previously, you would also need to complete the request from the Manage Start Card screen following the submission of the start card. I'm going to go ahead and use the above address again. And I'm going to make my map a little differently this time. I'm going to demonstrate what it's like to make a map if you just have the lat long. So I'm going to go ahead and enter some coordinates here. And then hit zoom 2. And when I do that, it will make the X for me at that lat long location. So from there, I'm going to choose calculate TRS. And again, that will populate this section except for the tax lot, which I will need to enter manually. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm going to choose add to cart. And you'll see I got a message that said start card record inserted. If I had an error that did not allow the start card to be inserted, it would indicate that here as well. I'm going to go ahead and scroll up to my shopping cart. And you'll see that the start card is in the fee required shopping cart. I'm going to select it and choose checkout. If you have several start cards to complete, you can continue to add start cards, just fill out the screen and put them in the shopping cart, and you can then check them all out at once, which will save you money as the $1 fee is applied per transaction, not per start card, unless you do them individually. So add several in there to save yourself some money. I'm going to go ahead and choose checkout. All right, here's the checkout screen. So here, be sure to include a phone number and your email address so you can get a receipt emailed to you. I would also like to point out that this information here, the name and address, is not tied to the credit card. So for record keeping purposes, you could enter the landowner information here. That might make it easier for you to identify the start card. Also, you can look up here in the corner to find the start card number has already been assigned, and you will see the amount, with the service fee. So it's a total of $351. I'm going to go ahead and choose next. And then from here, I can double check this information to make sure it's correct. I'm going to go ahead and enter my credit card information. This is a dummy number, so it won't work for you. All right, now I'm going to click next. I'm going to indicate that I am not a robot. And now it wants me to select all images with cars. So let's see, we've got a car here, 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 and verify. All right, it says I am not a robot, so I'm going to go ahead and click submit payment. The payment's being processed. So you can print this page by choosing this green print button in the upper right corner. And if I scroll down, choosing continue will take me back to the Start Card application where you have another opportunity to print the Start Card receipt. And you can choose main, which will take you back to the main screen. Let's reiterate changes to the Start Card. Additional data entry fields, such as the abandonment method or special standards request, the proposed seal placement date, latitude and longitude of proposed well location is required. As you saw in the video, if you do not have a lat long, the Start Card application can enter that lat long for you when you click the map indicating the location of the well. Landowner's email address. If the landowner does not have an email address, it's appropriate to enter your business email address, as the application will not allow for submission without a landowner's email address. An error message will be presented at the top of the Start Card form, indicating that an email address is required and the Start Card will not be inserted into the appropriate shopping cart. Also, exceptions to the 72-hour notice requirement. As you recall, those are a second or additional well on the same tax lot for the same landowner, casing height extensions, and water emergencies. Remember, in the case of an additional well on the same tax lot, a new day of drilling notification must be submitted, as that notification is tied to a Start Card number, not a tax lot or property. Expiration. Start Cards must be submitted no earlier than 60 days and no later than 3 calendar days before beginning work. Please note that this is calendar days, meaning that you can submit a Start Card on a Friday morning for a Monday project. Start Card fees are only eligible for transfer of fee to a new Start Card. Refunds are not available post June 30, 2023. A 30-day extension for exigent circumstances is available for a Start Card that is not expired. That is a one-time 30-day extension. That extension is also not available for a Start Card where you have indicated that work has commenced, or for Start Cards that already have an associated well report. Also, non-fee Start Cards may be canceled, also called voided. Notifications. Commencement of work, day of drilling notification. Even if the actual date of commencement of drilling is the same as indicated on the Start Card, a day of drilling commence work notification is required. Also, seal placement if different than proposed date on the Start Card. If the proposed seal placement date remains the same as noted on the Start Card, an additional notification is not required. Thank you for your time. For questions regarding the e-file Start Card application, please contact me at 971-287-8305, or you can email me at buffy.m.madrigal-adams@water.oregon.gov. Your local well inspector is also a great resource for questions regarding the changes. Thank you again.